Prince Harry is not speaking for the UK, that's for sure. I think I'm speaking for the UK more than Prince Harry.
How dare Donald Trump comment on our royal family, on our politics, and how dare he insult our Prime Minister? Where's your patriotic pride? St. George's Day yesterday, why aren't we all queuing up to attack the President for having the audacity to interfere? Farage used to be passionately opposed to American presidents interfering in British politics. No wonder he's gone silent on the subject. Insulting the Duke of Sussex, insulting Prince Harry. Sadly, right-wing media in this country has created an environment where a foreign leader insulting a member of our royal family, a former war hero, will be acceptable. No one's going to be up in arms over at the Daily Mail because they're usually at the front of the line of people attacking the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
James O'Brien condemns Donald Trump's comment against Prince Harry as he claimed that he is speaking for the UK more than Prince Harry. Brien, what do you think about James O'Brien's response?
I like his response. I must be honest, I like his response. I like James O'Brien. He's someone who has been vocal in defending Prince Harry and Meghan from, honestly, what you call vile attacks from the right-wing media, targeting Prince Harry and Meghan and even their kids, sadly. And James O'Brien is right, basically. I mean, where's the outrage? Where's the anger. Right? Because this is a foreign leader, you know, even saying, basically confessing that he has more say in the UK than a member of the royal family, for goodness sake. You know, that's like an attack on your country's sovereignty. Like every single, you know, country should have that right to decide their future, their fate. Trump is saying, like, I have more say with what happens in the UK than a member of the royal family, because Harry is basically a member of the royal family, you know, and basically it's a bad look even on the Prime Minister, on senior members of the royal family, for Trump to say what he said about having control over the UK. I mean, is the UK independent or have they been colonized by Trump? Is that what has happened, basically? If it is what has happened, then honestly, his words were disparaging, not to Prince Harry, but rather to the Prime Minister, to King Charles himself, you know, to the royal family in the UK.
True.
You know, so that's what I have to say.
Still, James says, how dare Donald Trump comment on our politics, our royal family, and how dare he insult our Prime Minister? Where is your patriotic pride? What do you think about that statement?
You know, I love even how he responded by saying, how dare he say this? How dare you, you know, say this about our country, that basically you are the one in control. I love his response. And then he quoted Nigel Farage, who's now someone who basically, you know, kisses Trump's boots, you know, for everything, because he's someone who, James Brien says that he initially or previously, he was always against US presidents, you know, interfering with politics in Britain, but now he's okay with it because, I don't know, he's licking, you know, Trump's boots now. Nigel Farage, that's what that is what basically the guy is doing. And of course, James O'Brien is calling out that guy. And of course, even as a patriot, you don't want someone else interfering in your country's, you know, affairs or what your country is doing, your country's policies. But it's so sad that, you know, somehow this is tolerated because they view that he's attacking Prince Harry. You know, that's how they view it. When in reality, really, he just embarrassed the Prime Minister of Britain, just embarrassed basically, you know, the Foreign Office in the UK, just embarrassed basically, honestly, the entire country in Britain by saying that basically he's the one who's in charge. You know, that's what basically he's doing. And I don't know about you, but that is not a bad look onto Prince Harry. That's more like a bad look onto the Prime Minister, onto King Charles himself as the head of state. You know, Trump is saying, listen, I have more say in your country, than Prince Harry, but also than even the people in the UK, like Charles and Starmer.
All right. He admits that right-wing media in this country, that is in the UK, has created an environment where a foreign leader feels that he can attack the royal or attack anyone in the royal family. What do you think?
You know, that's the sad part of all this.
Yeah.
Whereby the right-wing media like Daily Mail, The Sun, Mirror Express, basically they condone or okay
Yeah,
with
with-
him saying negative things about Prince Harry. They
Yeah.
would love that. They would adore if he said that. They'd even be cheering for him
Yeah.
if he said that,
Go
because they
on,
have their own
contribute more.
because they have their own vendetta against Prince Harry. It's like how UK media, for example, call upon the public to boo Prince Harry. But thing is, instead of the public booing Harry and Meghan, they're booing William, Charles, Camilla, K. Moulton. That karma, it's happening to Charles, William, Camilla, K. Moulton. So similarly, when they're okay with seeing, a foreign leader attacking a member of the royal family, one thing is for sure, yeah, he will attack, but he won't attack the person that you want him to attack. Because Charles will be in the US, a few days from now, in a few days for his state visit. What's gonna happen? Is he gonna embarrass Charles? Because you can be sure of one thing. I feel like there's an embarrassment coming. Yeah, I feel like in a few days from now, when Charles arrives in the US for his state visit, I have this feeling that's gonna be deeply embarrassed in the US by Trump. I have that feeling in my heart. So I'm gonna be keenly watching to, of course, see what's gonna happen. But I have that feeling in my heart whereby, Trump is gonna get so embarrassed by Prince Harry, in the US. Sorry, by Charles. Charles, in the US. I have that feeling in my heart. So when UK media are okay with seeing foreign leaders, go after Prince Harry, be sure about one thing. They will go after the senior members of the royal family that UK media are mandated to protect.
Yeah.
People like Charles, people like Prince William, they'll be embarrassed by Trump publicly, and UK media then will see them starting to complain.
Yeah.
Oh, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. But the thing is, it is what you wanted.
It's what you
because
wanted,
they
yes.
think that it's a bad look on Prince Harry, but in
But it's
truth,
not.
it's a bad look on Charles,
On the farm.
on Prince William, on Camilla, on Kim Moulton, on the Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer. It's a bad look on them. So, really, it is sad that UK media are proceeding with their smear campaign targeting Harry and Meghan, which I believe indeed must come to an end. Prince Harry and Meghan deserve to live in peace, deserve to work in peace, and I feel like all Americans, even most people in Britain, aside from the UK media, of course, will be outraged to hear what Trump has said, whereby basically he's claiming sovereignty over the UK, and whereby he thinks that he has more say there. So, I feel like as James has said, it is the patriotic duty of even people living in the UK, to defend their sovereignty and say that we are the ones who decide our future. We are the ones who decide our fate. Trump does not decide that for us. So that's what I have to say. So I like James O'Brien, what he said. He said the truth, and I feel like his words were truthful. So I wonder what you think yourself.
Yeah, I still support what you've said, and we will keep updating our members about the trip. Actually,
Charles' state visit, I don't even know if we'll talk about it that much, but we'll just talk about any embarrassing moment that we'll see. Because I'm sure there'll be something embarrassing. I have a feeling in my heart that she's gonna be embarrassed in the US. I have a feeling in my heart.
I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Thank you so much. And please like, share, subscribe, and to Winnie Gossips here, and support I Have a Going Community on YouTube. I'm sure it's going to mean a lot to her. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brien, also for joining us in our joint segment. As he has said, please follow and subscribe to my channel and help me get to 1,000 subscribers. That really mean a lot to me. So as we end, have a good time and see you on the next one, Brien.
Bye.
Bye.
And subscribe. Bye.